Hello, let's discuss the poem Dust of Snow, written by fantastic poet Robert Frost. Now, when we talk about this poem, we just come to the conclusion. The lines of this poem is not very long. This is a short poem, but the shorter the poem, the greater the meaning it carries in it. Now, when we talk about this poem, we just come to the conclusion that nature can provide us sensational solace. Nature can provide us great solace. If we are in jeopardy or in crisis or in trouble, we may take shelter in the lap of nature, which may certainly provide us eternal bliss. As you all are aware of the fact, this materialistic world is full of sorrow, pain, misery, crisis, trouble, tragedy. Now, if you want to take true enjoyment, if you want to enjoy the world in a true manner, then you will have to give up pursuing materialistic objects, which may lead to an unending restlessness in you. The search for happiness is one of the chief sources of unhappy happiness. The pleasure lies in the pursuit of an ideal, not in the attainment of it. The more you pursue these pleasant things, you will feel enjoyed, overjoyed. But as soon as you get those things, you will feel fatigue, and embarrassment, discouraged. You will be discouraged. So, in this way, this poem, Dust of Snow, which was written by the great romantic poet Robert Frost. Now, this poem is not full of high level words or high level meaning. It has simple words, but if we go through this poem, we just come to the conclusion that this poem tells us the gist of this world, the gist of our life. So, the first line of this poem is the way a crow swooped down on me. The dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of my life I had ruined. So, this is a poem which ends with which is a simple one line, and there is only one full stop at the end of the poem. So, this poem tells us all that is necessary for us to get eternal peace. Now, when we talk about the first line tells us, the way a crow swooped down on me. The poet was in pensive mood. He had become a pessimistic man owing to the miseries and troubles of this materialistic world. So he decided to go to in the lap of nature in order to get some kind of solace or respite from these hectic activities of this world. So when he went there and when he was standing under a tree, he saw that suddenly a crow came and sat on a hemlock tree. At that time, the earth was completely covered by snow. So the tree was also covered by snow. So when a crow sat on the tree, it so happened the dust of that snow happened to fall on the poet, which made him happy. This poem is interesting in my view. This poem tells us the crow here stands for misery, troubles, crisis, calamity, jeopardy, whereas the hemlock tree is full of positivity. Hemlock tree is a symbol of positivity, optimism. So when we talk about it, we just come to the conclusion that the way a crow swooped down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. When the poet was standing under the tree, and it so happened that suddenly a crow sat on the tree, and the dust of the snow fell on the earth owing to the shaking of the tree, which was led by the crow. Now, when the poet saw the natural scenery here, when he saw this kind of beautiful scene, he just came to the conclusion that he had, in fact, ruined his entire day in pursuing materialistic things or in lamenting the things which had happened with him during the course of the day. Now he was full of remorse. He has repents in him, and he was started lamenting the fact that he had ruined his life in silly things, in petty things. which was indeed a foolish thing on his part, has given my heart a change of mood. Now, when the the dust of snow fell on him, it had positive effect on him, has given my heart a change of mood. Now his heart had got some kind of respite. Now he had started feeling happy to see this kind of scene. It means that we can get happiness by seeing anything if we wish to do so. If we wish to get happiness, then happiness can be provided to us by seeing. If we start getting happiness by seeing the small things in our day-to-day life which happen, then certainly our life will be heaven. Otherwise, we will be living in hell. And saved some part of my life I had rued. Now the poet has started telling that this scene has indeed saved some part of his day, which he had ruined, which he had destroyed, in lamenting what had lost, what had happened with him in the day. So these lines tells us that the poet is of the opinion now having seen this kind of picture, he will feel now happy, and he has decided to forget what has happened with him, because let bygones be bygones. Instead of racking up dead issues, we must bury the hatchet. So he had decided to bury the hatchet instead of racking up dead issues. There is one more saying: bad memory is a source of happiness. If we have bad memory, then we are enjoying the bliss of this world. Then we are living in this blissful world. As you know, that the more we try to remember whatever has happened with us, the more we feel disillusioned, disappointed. So in that way, we must try to forget whatever bad has happened with us, because that is the only way to get rid of that problem. So in that way, this poem is indeed a magnificent and sensational poem in my view, which conveys the very meaning of life. By far, we have forgotten the meaning of life. We just think that by indulging this materialistic world, we are leading our life. We are not leading our life. We are leading a life of a slave. This is a slavery. If you want true freedom, then you will have to get rid of pursuing materialistic world and start taking enjoyment in natural world, or start taking enjoyment in whatever you see in this life, because you will have to enjoy the moment. You should always try to enjoy the moment. The moment when you find some kind of enjoyment, you should take that enjoyment and start forgetting whatever bad has happened with you. Thank you.